Kia ora. Hi, welcome to Next Time. What I want to talk about now is conscious creations, consciously manifesting our reality, these are terms bandied around a lot in New Age metaphysical circles, but actually more and more filtering down into the car park at school, manifesting our reality and being conscious of what we're creating. And in that respects, one of the things that I'm being called to do, in my last video I talked about setting ourselves in front of the problems and creating new resolutions and being part of the future rather than being part of a response or reaction to present problems. So I want to talk to this actually in a very metaphysical way, because this is the way that it's come to me. And I believe that as we are waking up to our human potential and our human purpose on the planet, we are I am seeing the potentiality of not just creating my reality with fixed commodities and things and relationships, but I'm seeing the potentiality to dream a whole new world. And when I talk about dreaming a whole new world, I'm actually talking about each individual moving into the realm of the shaman. And if you look collectively across the planet, the shamans of many societies, most societies, the shamans, the gurus, are stepping down now. They're stepping away from holding the power and the knowledge, because it is a universal understanding that the individual person, the normal person, you and me, are moving into the role of the shaman, and we have that potentiality to be the shaman. Now, if you look to India, they call this yuga, this period, the yuga of the enlightened householder. So it's now enlightenment is not just for the yogis in the hills. It's actually coming to be accessible for everybody, and that's choice. That's very choice. I, in that respect, then ask, what does a shaman do? What does a magic person do? And those levels of knowledge have come in the past through initiations, which is understandings and moving forward. We have now enough knowledge, physical knowledge on the planet, to understand, to completely have access to what the knowledge of a shaman or a medicine person or a witch or a magician or whatever, an initiative, whatever. We have that information, or we have it genetically within us, which is actually, I highly recommend myself, that's how I learnt my knowledge, was by accessing my spiritual and physical DNA, remembering what my forefathers and my foremothers did, opening my craft through accessing imprints on my DNA. I think that's what happened anyway, because I know a lot of shit. A lot. Everything. I know pretty much everything. And how do I know that? Anyway, so as we step into this potentiality to be the shaman, what does a shaman do? What does a magician do? They make something out of nothing? Magic. Bing! And not talking about illusions, we're talking about actually creating with our minds. This mind that we use a small percentage of. I'm starting to see that the potentiality of using more and what that looks like, and it is so big and beautiful and magical and simple. So there's two things that I want to bring, and I want to bring those really big concepts into very simple actions. The first relates very much to the Buddhists' ideas of right speech, right action, which goes along the line of neuro-linguistic programming. And also, you might have heard, is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? So what comes out, and if you look in shamanism and magic, words of power, what comes out are powerful things. So as we consciously create it, if we are consciously creating, what comes out of here is going to be number one importance to is the first step of manifestation. So I urge everybody to be very careful of what their speech is. And I also would like to share that this year has been very much for me about stepping back from talking about people's process, because I have no desire to hold somebody in the limited capacity that I see them in, because my perception of somebody, if you think about who you are and how complicated and how many subtle nuances you have, I could never possibly ever possibly understand another human being's situation and or growth or where they are in that situation. So if I talk about somebody, I can hold them in an old energy, and they might actually just be about to break through, but in the greater field, I'm holding them in that old paradigm because I've shared their old shit, their old form with somebody. So I am very much stepping into that, and I urge you to think about that as well, who you talk about and how you talk about them. So in that respect, the articulation of expression, of conscious creation, when we are connected, there's two things, and I've simplified it down to two things, is we are living in a dualistic reality. We're living in the Badlands and the Radlands, and and it is a choice where you want to take it. If we are connected into mainstream media, it is a fear-based society that we're living in. There's no doubt about it. There are big walls around people's houses. There are big screen TVs, and one is feeding the other. It's easy. That's the Badlands. When someone is afraid to go outside their house in the dark. When somebody even leaves their house and has to lock it. That's the Badlands. That is a reality that we have created or has been created for us. So as we step in front of the problem, we're stepping into, and I urge that if you are anybody who has a real connection and consciousness of what I'm talking about, when you step forward, you step into the Radlands, and more you start to connect with the right speech, the right action. So when we speak of a situation, we can actually take it to a bigger extreme. Situations and problems are very microcosm. It's the very thing that is going on that is causing resistance. If we can step back from a problem and bring in philosophical understanding, metaphysical understanding, bigger perspective, higher thoughts into our equation, then we can start speaking about problems with full clarity, and then solution presents itself when we have that higher truth. A truth shall set them free. Now, in my opinion, the highest thought is love. So if you can elevate a situation of resistance to a situation of a way of understanding it through love, then you have automatically taken it to the Radlands. And this is where we need to be. This is where we need to be. We need to be in front of the problem, consciously creating a reality based on understanding, big understanding and love. And that's what's living in me at the moment. Kia ora whānau, kia ora family. Thank you.